Hello, hello. Nettie Owens back again. This is day 3 of 45 for 45 Live. Thank you again, Wanda Toro Tarini, for this opportunity to come in here live every day and share something. So I have been thinking today about what would be meaningful to share, and I decided to talk a little bit about these interviews that I've been hosting since the beginning of, well, it wasn't quite the beginning of the pandemic, but kind of near the beginning. The first one was recorded at the end of April. And I just was wondering, I'm like, there's so much going on. There's so many things that we need to know right now as business owners. And how do we figure out the answers to our questions? We can't become experts in everything, right? We don't totally know which end is up. At the time, businesses were shutting down. States were asking us to not do business. Restaurants were being told to close. And yet other businesses were gearing up. They needed to have employees doing the work, but they couldn't bring people in. It was a really, really confusing time. And so I started asking this question: what do businesses need to know right now? What is it that, what could we provide an answer to that would actually help? And so my first interview was Bob Graham, and I was actually just talking to him again yesterday. We were going over some of the things that he shared in not his first interview, but the second that we had. And so I just, that first interview was about people, which is actually really profound now that I say it out loud. But the first interview of what do businesses need to know right now, we answered the question of, how do you take care of your people? What do we need to know about taking care of people in the midst of a pandemic? And it was really fun to have that conversation, to keep it to 10 minutes. That was the restriction that I put on there, something that wasn't that beginner level kind of information, but an expert answer. And then we had questions about sales and selling in the middle of a pandemic. And then the environment changed. And when it did, we came on and we asked questions about what do people need to know about diversity and inclusion and belonging and protests, and how does that affect the work that we're doing? And so it's been a really amazing time to ask these questions, and then just to be willing to sit and listen to the response. It's always been profound, I think, from my perspective, to hear what people say back to me in answering that question. So everyone that I've brought on to this series, and I put the link down below. You can catch the interviews if you go to this link, whatbusinessesneedtoknow.com. They're all available on YouTube. You can find them on my Facebook page. But what's been profound is just hearing those answers, unexpected, and the unexpected depth and sincerity. Not that I didn't think that people are absolutely amazing and know their craft, but to be able to look at this big question of, what do we need to know? What do we need to know about reopening? What do we need to know about corporate wellness? Dr. Rachelyn Harold came on today and was talking about corporate wellness. I'm going to be having somebody come on and talk about emergency management. What do we need to know? What should we be paying attention that maybe just don't have in our awareness? So if there are things you want to know about as it relates to business, drop them in the comments. Let me know. I can be sure to find those experts and answer those questions. And the other exciting part about this is, over these months, I've done, I think we're up to like 80 interviews at this point. The first 47 interviews have been compiled into a book. It's at the publisher now, being proofread. We have the cover of it designed, and it's coming out in April. So the other thing you can do, if you go to that link, whatbusinessesneedtoknow.com, is you can check out and pre-order the book that's coming along. What we've done is we've taken those interviews, we transcribed them so that you could literally open the book, ask a question, and have it answered, just turn to a page. Things about taxes, about mindset, productivity, as I said before, diversity, inclusion, belongingness, healthcare. Like, it's just an amazing, diverse compilation of these interviews and experts. And the next volume will come out in October. we'll do the same thing. We'll compile them, translate them into something that you can just dive right into and read. So I'm excited to share that with you. I'm excited to hear each interview that comes out, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to bring these conversations to you. So this whole talk today has been about asking questions and then listening. And one thing I want to say about listening is it's really easy to listen for what you want to hear. It's a lot harder to remove any expectation and just listen. What is that person saying? Not what do I want them to say? What am I waiting for them to say? How can I hear the right words so I can say the thing back in my script that's happening in my head? But really just stepping back and listening to how they're showing up, listening to the tone in their voice, listening to what's not being said, paying attention to all of that. So my encouragement for you today would be to ask questions, don't expect any particular answer, and be willing to receive whatever comes to you. If you have something that you'd like to know about, share it with me here. I'd be happy to bring experts on to answer those questions for you. Again, this is day 3 of going live for 45 days in a row. And check out the link below, whatbusinessesneedtoknow.com. Let me know what you think of these interviews that are being pulled together. And I'm happy to be here to ask the questions. Take care, everyone. Bye.